Ever wondered how to turn ordinary clips into cinematic masterpieces just using CapCut? In this video, I will show you exactly where to find high quality footages and audio, and how to use CapCut's built-in tools like smooth slow-mo, transitions, overlays, and more to create stunning cinematic edits step by step. Let's dive in. Here is what we are making today using only CapCut and free affordable resources.
Nature is great.
So for the first part, we are going to talk about how to gather resources. And to gather resources, you mostly need your visuals and your audio. So for visuals, I usually get them from Pixels. It's a stock footage website where you get free pictures and videos to use. You don't have to add any credit or whatever, and you don't have to pay. So this is the interface of Pixels. When you open it, all you have to do is just simply create an account, and you can download whatever picture and video you want to use. So for this tutorial, we are going to use like nature videos to do the edit. So I'm just going to download a few nature videos here which we are going to use to do the edit. And also for Pixels, you can search whatever you want. You can filter whether you want horizontal, vertical, or square, and also popularity and newest. And to download, they have different ones. They have up to 4K, so you can download up to 4K all for free without having to pay for anything. So you don't have to use those expensive stock footage sites. And for audio, I usually get some of them from this YouTube channel, Soundride Music. I'll put all the links down in the description, so there is no need to worry. Soundride Music, I usually get some of the audios here, and they are free to use. In his videos down in the description, he usually puts how to bypass the copyright if you're hit with the copyright. And another place where I get my audios, for better audios, I would advise you to use Epidemic Sounds. That's where I get my quality audios, and the audios here are unlimited. You can get both audios, sound effects, or even a voiceover. And their pricing plan is actually also chill. So this is their plan. They have a $6 plan for a month, $11 plan for a month. This is the yearly billing. So if you want to pay by year, this is also per month. But as a new user, when you register, you get a discount about 25% off. And one thing about Epidemic Sounds is, so far as you pay, everything you use here belongs to you now, kinda. I'm saying it belongs to you now because you don't have to worry about any copyright strike or whatever. And you can use it on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you won't get any copyright strike. Any audio that you download here, so far as you have paid for it. So the next thing on the list that we're going to do is we're going to open our CapCut editing software now. So you go on and open your CapCut, and after you open your CapCut, we'll go on to create a new project. So we'll go on and create a new project, and then we will import our pictures and videos we are going to use. We are just going to use videos, not pictures. So the video and the audio that we are going to use. So now we are going to set our timeline. So for a cinematic motion, you usually use 25 FPS or 30 FPS. And to do that, let me switch to the default view. Yes, so this is the default view. So to change the frame rate, you go on here to modify, and then you change it here. For cinematic motion, you use either 25 or 30. So that's your choice, but for me, I'm going to use 30 FPS in here. And then your aspect ratio, we are going to keep it landscape, 16:9 ratio. So now we are going to first import your sound. We're only going to use just a few seconds. I downloaded this one from the YouTube channel Soundride Music, but I actually use Epidemic Sounds more because they have more quality sounds, and risk at which you get hit by a copyright strike is very, very low so far as you have paid for the monthly sub. So another thing to take note of when you are doing cinematic videos is that you want to sync the videos with the audio. That is very important when you are editing a cinematic video. Always sync the video with the audio. Yeah, but one feature in CapCut is you can mark the audio. You can mark the audio like maybe where you want to place your videos and your pictures. So okay, so here we have 10 videos exactly. So we are going to mark the audio 10 times because we're only going to use 10 videos. So you mark here 1. So to mark the audio, you are going to put the timeline where you want to mark. Click on the audio and you go to this side, mark. Here I have already marked it, so the option I'm going to get is delete marker, and the shortcut for that is M. So to mark another part, just keep playing it. Okay, so we want to mark here again, and to do that you can either go here or you can just start mark. So we'll go on and mark the rest of the audio. We've done it 2, so we'll do it 8 more times, and then we'll move on to smooth slow-mo. Alright, so we've marked it 10 times. Now we're going to put in our pictures and videos. So you can do it in any order you want it. I'm only using 10, so I'm only going to take 10. To split a video, you just have to put the video in there, put the timeline where you want to split, and then you go to this side and then you press delete. You click on delete, right? That will delete the video. So, yeah. But I'm using the shortcut. I have set my shortcut to W. Later on Sunday, I will make a full tutorial on how to use CapCut, all the tools and everything, so to be easy to follow for those who are not familiar with the interface and everything. Alright, so go to and make sure all are aligned perfectly well. So now what we are going to do is we are going to apply slow motion to all the clips, so to give it the cinematic effect. For slow motion, I'll say there are 3 types of slow motion in CapCut Desktop and any other CapCut. So to apply slow motion, we will first select the video that you want to apply the slow motion to. When you look up here at this side, you see speed. It comes after audio, so you click on speed and you set the speed that you want. So I like to set the speed at 0.50. But then to prevent choppy results, this is where we have the optical flow and frame blending. Those are the other 2 types of smooth slow-mo. So you have the regular one, optical flow and frame blending. So to find that, after you apply the speed, like the slow-mo to it, automatically it will appear here. So you can choose to check it or not, and that's on you. But to avoid choppy playback, you go on and take the smooth slow-mo up here. You go on and take the smooth slow-mo up here, and then you get to option frame blending, optical flow. So the difference between these two is, for the frame blending, it generates faster because the quality is not 100%, so it generates faster. So it is for those who maybe they don't really mind the quality, they just want like a faster results. That's when you have the frame blending. And optical flow is different. Optical flow, it takes longer and it gives you better quality. So that's when you use optical flow. So for this, we are just going to use, we're just going to stick with the frame blending. But when you're doing a professional work, it is advisable to use optical flow. So then we'll apply the speed 0.5 and optical flow to all of them. Sorry, the speed and frame blending to all of them, 0.5. To do all at the same time, you can just highlight it. You can just highlight it and then, yeah, just highlight it and change the speed. So, and now we wait for the features to apply. Okay, so after your smooth slow-mo is done, we are now going to apply transition. So first we are going to cut it. Okay, now let's watch it. Perfect. So we're going to get something like this. Okay, so we're going to watch it later on after after we are done. So the next thing we are going to learn is the transitions. So for transitions, there are several transitions you can use when it comes to making cinematic videos, but you should keep note, you don't want anything too complicated. You want something simple. So I will show you where you can get some here on CapCut. So yeah, CapCut, mostly you can go on to the light effect side, where you can get a whole lot of transitions. So you can use glare, you can use white stroke, you can use almost everything here, and it will give you a cinematic effect. So for this video, we are going to mix them up. So we're going to mix them up with different ones, so you can explore the transitions that you want to use. So here we are just going to use a few, and after I apply it, we are going to watch it and make sure it's good, then we move on to the next one. Okay, so now we are done adding our transitions. I used more than 3 just for demonstration's sake. So I wanted to like give you like an idea of the different kinds of transitions you can use. And if you're using transition, it doesn't mean you're using transition so you have to apply it to the whole video. No, you don't have to apply the transitions to the whole video. Just the part where you feel like there is a change of feel or like tense, so maybe high to low or low to high, that's when you add a transition. So if you look at my video like this, I added different transitions. I added mix, the mixed transition. I also added glare too. I added flash, I added mix again, pull in and pull out, and then here I added glitch. So you can use actually any transition here on CapCut, but you have to be careful. You have to watch it to make sure it helps tell the story. So we are going to watch it and see what we have done so far. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Another thing I want to cover is the use of keyframes in cinematic effects. So you can use keyframes for the movement. You can use it for the zoom in and the zoom out movement, like slow zoom in and zoom out movement, or the panning movement. So I'm just going to apply it to the first clip. So we are going to apply a zoom. I'm going to apply a smooth zoom. So first, you obviously you send your timeline bar to the video, because that's how you see the video, and then you click on the video, and after you click on the video, you this one we are doing like what's it called, we are doing a zoom out. So you are first going to increase the initial scale. You have increased it to 120. So after increasing it to 120, where you want the smooth movement to start, that's where you apply the first keyframe. Then you move it to where you want it to end, apply the second keyframe, and we'll change our scale back to 100. So at the end, when you play the video, it's going to look like this. You can see it's zooming out. Then I'll apply a zoom in here. So here the initial is going to be 100, and to zoom in we'll change this to 120. This is just for directions. You don't have to, it's not by force to do it, but I'm teaching you like how to apply like smooth zoom in and zoom out. So this one, so it is zooming in slowly as well. Yeah, so that's it for transitions. So next thing I'm going to cover is color grading. That's the most important thing. So for color grading, you always have to look out for the tone and the mood of the video. So the color grading you are going to apply is going to determine the tone and the mood of the video. Even though yes, the song can contribute, the visuals can contribute, but the color grading, it adds up to the feel of the video, how the video will turn out, how cinematic will it be, how emotional or joyful, depending on the emotion you want to convey. So when it comes to color grading in CapCut, you have your default ones here, the default filters here. So for filters, there are a lot that you can use. You can preview it by just tapping on it, and if you like it, you add. There are a lot here you can use. And for me, I usually use either enhance, because it brings out the colors very well for me, or I use silver or dark silver, depending on the mood I want to convey. The good thing about CapCut is, if you don't want to use any of these and you have like your own color grading that you want to attach, this is where the LUT comes inside. So to find that, you go to adjust. This is where the LUT comes in. So LUT, there are sites where you can get preset LUT, like cinematic ones that you want to use, and you can also the good thing about it, you can also customize them after you import them. So there are many different sites where you can get you can get LUTs to download, like motion array and whatever. I'm going to put all of them down in the description, so just in case you want to check them out and download. Some are free, some are paid. I'm going to mark the ones that are free and the ones that you can get it's for paid, depending on what you want. But always remember, quality matters when it comes to edit. So for the LUT, to import an LUT after you download it, all you have to do is you have to go up here to the media section, and you scroll to your right, like you want to see what is on your right, and you go to adjustments, and by default you'll be here. So you can custom your own LUT or import one that you downloaded. So we are going to import one that we downloaded. So we downloaded this one from motion array, and we are going to import this one. Let me just import this one. So after you import it, you just have to drag it and put it on it, and you stretch it throughout the video, or where you want it to apply. So this is how you import it. Yeah, and there are many others that you can import. It's your choice. So let's go on and import another one and see. We are going to hide this one, import another one, and look how it is. This is how this one too looks like, different from the first one. Go on and import the last one. Let's say a black and white here. You put it down, you're also going to have it like this. Yeah, so that's how to import the LUT. But I like to use the default ones. I'm going to remove these ones later. I like to use the default ones. So for this video, I'm going to use enhance. Yeah, so enhance will stretch it throughout the video, and we're going to have the video looking like this. So you can see it really like brings out the color. It really brings out the color of the video. When we turn it off, this is how it looks like. When we turn it on, this is how it looks like. When we turn it off, this is how it looks like. When we turn it on, this is how it looks like. So this is a quick before and after. So before, the video looked like this. It looked too bright. The colors are not blending in well. And after we applied the color grading, the default one by CapCut, as I said, you can also import yours, or you can customize yours in the app if you want. So this is how the after looks like. You can see the color of it changed. Yes, so that's it for color grading. Next thing we are going to look at is font and on-screen text. So for font and on-screen text, you can choose to use your own font. So to download font, there are places on the internet where you can download cinematic font. So you can go online and look for cinematic fonts, and you go to images and look at them, and you can download any of them. So you just get the name from here or whatever, then you go to where you want to download the font. So here is free. Also Google Font is free, and there are many other free sites where you can download fonts for free. So you go on and type the name of the font you want, download the font, and then for the font to show, since CapCut is already open, the font won't show. So for the font to show in the text side, you have to close the software, like close it, open it again, and you go back to the font side. You go back to the text side. First you have to add the text. So to add the text, you just go here and you press on this plus button. It will automatically add the text. So when it adds the text, what you have by default is the system font. So you can change it to whatever font you want. The font I like to use is Lemon Milk, because that's what I like to use. You can choose to use any other type of font that you want. There are many cinematic fonts on the internet, so this shouldn't be a problem. So for this video, let me just use Lemon Milk. Where's my Lemon Milk? Yes, Lemon Milk. I'm I'm going to use lemon milk here, but yeah, I'm going to use lemon milk here. So you can use this text to create text styles, and CapCut also has text templates where you can use many text templates, but most of them are pro, so it's best to customize your own. If you want to know more, if you want to learn more how to use like text in cinematic edit, you can check out the prime style edit video that I made. Also, the link is in the description. I created a cinematic edit using that text, so you can check it out. I've put the link down in the description. And so for here, I'm going to put the text here and change it to nature. Change it to nature. There are many styles you can use. Another nice thing is you can click on the video, you can go to mask, and then you add the mask, you use text, and then you change the text to whatever you want. So let's do nature here as well, and then nature, and then you go on to your font. So I'm still using lemon milk, and then you increase it. So you are going to have something like this. This is also another style. This is also another style, and you can apply it anywhere. You can apply it anywhere on the video, like any part of the video. But that's not what we are doing. So this is just by the way to show you what you can also do with this. And this is the masking, and this is the masking. This is the masking tool in CapCut. So I'm going to remove it and stick to this. I'm going to remove it and stick to this. So here I'm going to give it just a little shadow, and yeah, give it just a little shadow. Perfect. Stuff like it. So let's play back the video and look at it. Like, okay, all right. So this is how the video looks like. But then we want to add a fade in and fade out to it. You can also use keyframes to give it a zoom in and zoom out effect, or a movement effect. So fade in and fade out, you go to animations, head on to animations. You can create a loop animation, out animation, and animation. So in animation, we are going to use fade in, out animation, we're going to use fade, and when you play it, it's going to look like this. Good. So that's how to use a text and on-screen text in a cinematic edit. It's simple. So you can either use the masking type that I showed you, or the normal text type that I showed. If you don't understand anything, you can reach out to me or ask me down in the comments. I'll reply. I'm going to give you a response immediately. So the last but one thing we're going to look at are effects and overlays. So for effects and overlays, CapCut, they have their preset effects and some overlays. But if you want to get more, I'm going to attach sites down in the description where you can get more overlays. For effects, you'll be able to import effects, so you have to use the preset effects they have on their software. But for overlays, you'll be able to import overlays. So I'm going to teach you how to use an overlay and also how to use the effect. So the effect let's start with the overlay, but I'll remove the overlay at the end because that's not really part of what I want to do. So to use an overlay, you first import the overlay. You can import the overlay here, or you can use some of the overlays which are already here on their site. So I'm going to use this overlay. I'm going to import it and make sure it is on top. Put it on top of the video or a picture you want to apply the overlay to, and make sure you drag it to cover up the whole screen. Next thing I'm going to do is you're going to head on to basics right here, and then you scroll down until you see blend. Then you reduce the opacity. So now you can see the overlay has been applied, and the overlay is like gritty kind of thingy. So you can see the overlay has as a plan. You can drag down the opacity further or increase it, so anyone you want. So that's how to use an overlay, and that's what you're going to do when you import any overlay. So now let's head on to the effects. So for effects, there are many kinds of effects you can use, but to get a cinematic feel, there are specific kind of effects I recommend. So the effects that I'll personally recommend for cinematic videos: lens flares, dust, and film overlays. So good thing is we can search the effect that we want to use. So for this cinematic effect, I'm going to use a film effect. You can use any effect at all. I'm going to use a film effect and preview it here. Okay, so that's it. That's how to use your effects and your overlay. So the overlay, you first import it, reduce the opacity, import it, put it on your video, reduce the opacity. Effects, you just go to the preset effects, search whatever effect you want. You can browse through. There are lots of effects, that you can use. So I just use 3 effects for this. There are many other effects that you can use. It's your choice. Last thing we're going to look at is the voice editing. So to access the voice editing feature, you first need a voiceover. So you can create voiceover using 11 Labs. They have a free trial plan where you get 10,000 credits per month, but when you pay, you obviously get more. Or you can use CapCut's inbuilt text to voice feature, text to speech voice feature. So let's put in something. Let's say nature is great, and we are going to generate a voice here. But the voices on CapCut, they sound a bit too robotic, so I would advise you to use voices on 11 Labs. 11 Labs has a wide range of voices, and they're all quality voices. And for the free plan, you can get to save like 3 voices. Head on to text to speech and type the same thing here. Nature is great. The good thing about 11 Labs is you can reduce the speed, stability, or the similarity, or whatever. You are going to use a female voice.
You gotta be careful if you don't know where you're going, because you might not get there.
Female voice, say Emily. Yes, we are going to use this voice, and I'm going to change it to 11 alpha 3. Customize emotion, like whisper. Yes, so use whisper, and let's see how that sounds like.
Nature is great. Nature is great.
Yeah, we'll use this new voice. Perfect. So now we head on to CapCut. To import voice, we're going to delete this one. It sounds a bit too robotic. We don't want that. I'm going to enable a voice here and import. I'm going to import your audio new, and we'll put that at the end. Where we reduce.
Nature is great.
Okay, perfect. And now for the voice editing, you can do that here in CapCut. You can adjust the volume, fade in, fade out, normalize loudness, enhance voice, reduce noise, isolate voice. I will create a video where I'll go in depth what all of these things do. But what I want to show you here is for it to have like a cinematic effect, I usually add an echo. So I usually use super reverb. I usually use this one, super reverb. Sometimes I have to reduce the echo-ness of it. So let's increase the voice. Yeah, so that's how it sounds. You can put it anywhere. Let's put it here and play. Perfect. That's it. That's how to create a cinematic video. So first you have to gather your resources, your audio and your visuals. Next you have to set up your editing software. So we use CapCut, where we changed the frame rate to either 25 or 30 for cinematic editing. You keep the aspect ratio landscape or portrait, depending on what you want. We applied smooth, slow-mo, optical flow. I explained frame blending and optical flow, the differences and the benefits of each. And then we went on to learn about the transitions and movements, where I showed you the kind of transitions you should be using and how to use keyframes for clean zoom in and zoom out effects. Then we went on to color grading, where we learned how to download LUT and import, how to customize your own LUT, or how to use the preset ones already on CapCut. Then we went on to learn about the font and on-screen text, where I showed you where you can download fonts. CapCut also has their own text templates where you can use. Then we went on to effects and overlays, where I showed you where you can get effects and overlays on the internet as well, or you can also use the preset ones. You can use the preset effects on CapCut, because you won't be able to import effects on CapCut, but you can import overlays. And the last thing we talked about was the voice editing, where I said it would be best if you generated your voice using 11 Labs. That's if a voice is part of your video. And that's how you create a cinematic video using only CapCut Desktop and free tools. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more editing hacks, and drop a comment with the type of edits you want to see next. I have my socials here if you want to contact me. Until next time.